So guys, how are you doing? I hope you are doing fine. Today I am coming to you straight from the village. Today is 26th of December, but today being 26th of December, I received a lot of feedback from some of the taxi drivers in town, and specifically in Nairobi, giving me feedback of how business has been over this holiday period. Specifically to mention date 24 and 25, that is the eve of Christmas and the actual day of Christmas, that is date 25. I have received actually quite a number of screenshots from drivers that I follow very closely, that I always seek information to know how the industry is going when I am not on the roads. I am also in several WhatsApp groups where drivers discuss matters of business on day-to-day basis, just them saying how their day has been, and just informing each other how the challenges and the opportunities of the days look like. So yesterday being date 25 of December, I received quite a number of screenshots from drivers who decided not to go for holiday, from drivers who said that they can sacrifice their Christmas so that they can take opportunity of business. And I can tell you that I believe in a way that those drivers who decided not to go for holiday yesterday, they made a very wise decision. And I know it is not possible for everyone to sacrifice their Christmas day, because we have so many people around us. We have families, we have kids, we have wives, we have husbands, we have parents, we have siblings. We have so many people around us that can force us not to be at work during Christmas. And by this I mean sometimes we have gatherings at homes, sometimes we have our families who are waiting on us to take them out so that at least they can experience the beauty and the joy of Christmas Day. So a lot of drivers, to be honest, cannot be able to sacrifice, even if they want. They cannot be able to sacrifice to be away from work on Christmas Day. But a number of drivers managed to be away from home. They managed to sacrifice, I would say, their loved ones so that they can be at work during Christmas and then take a holiday probably by date 2 or date 3 of January, when all the entertainments and all the holidays are over. And I wanted to just give you some feedback from what those drivers informed me on how the business was during Christmas Day. A lot of drivers who sent me screenshots, I will surprise you that I saw 3 screenshots of drivers who drove on Bolt and they made each over 15,000 Kenya shillings during the Christmas Day. And remember, that is just on one app. Maybe even if they carried on Uber or Little Cab, probably they didn't carry that much. But the truth of the matter is that on Bolt, they carried 15,000 and above. And then I saw quite a number of other screenshots with the drivers who made over 10,000. And the general discussion about how the business was like during Christmas is that it was such a cash cow day. Like a lot of drivers who are online, they reaped a lot of money. They made a killing. And I can tell you that I was in Nairobi on date 25. And I can tell you, in as much as I was driving my own car, there were so many people around who are moving from one fun center, one fun area to another, people moving around from one mall to another. There were so many entertainment activities that were happening in town, and people were in a mood of spending. So I was actually not surprised to see that taxi drivers, the few who managed to be around, were so busy that they made back-to-back trips until they decided to close down their apps. So as long as those drivers were on the road, there was nothing like wait time. You drop, you are called. You drop, you are called. You drop, you are called. I'm telling you, from 8 to 8, a lot of drivers did straight 8 hours and they went back to sleep, and they felt like whatever they had earned for that day was literally enough. So the discussion of this video is just to inform you on how to be very strategic. I know some people would say that you will go out with your family on Christmas, But if you can have an agreement with your wife and your children, you tell them, you know, guys, Christmas Day is an opportunity for people to spend, but as well is an opportunity for some other people to make money. Because even the entertainment joints that we went to during Christmas, even those places that people visited during Christmas, there were employees still at work. It doesn't mean that everybody closed and people went to different places from where they work. A good number of people were working during Christmas, and we were served in the places that we went, because there are some people who never went for Christmas. So the same thing with a number of taxi drivers. There are those who decided that they are not going to go for Christmas because they want to serve their clients, and they made a big win because of that sacrifice. And the same thing I think will happen on date one. But I believe that date one is not such a major holiday in the eyes of so many Kenyans, because Christmas is seen as one of the most significant days in the life of Christians, and I believe a majority of Kenyans are Christians. So majority of people tend to travel, tend to take Christmas Day as, you know, the main day to celebrate. But again, other days they can decide to celebrate or not. So date 1 of January, the same trend could repeat itself, because maybe a lot of people would say that date 1 is a day to work on your objectives for the year that is coming. Date 1 is a day for you to sit back and reflect on how you want to handle the year that is coming. Date 1 is that day that you really need to maybe relax and just plan how you are going to tackle the year that is coming in front of you. But again, I believe that quite a good number of drivers will be back to work, not like the number of drivers we had on date 25th of December this year, because a lot of people will have gone back to Nairobi, and a lot of drivers will be, you know, working and will be on the road. So I don't believe that there is such another opportunity for anyone to make such a huge earning like those drivers who are online during Christmas. But I still believe that those who will decide to be online during date 1, they will definitely make more money, because I believe that more than half of drivers will be at home. But remember also, date 1, there are no more people who will be spending. There are not as many as those who were spending on date 25, because as I have said, date 25 is a day for people to spend in Kenya. So the whole narrative of people working during special days, you know, is the one that I want drivers to understand, that if you can sacrifice to be on the road when every other driver is at home, or every other driver is not driving, then that will be a day for you to make more money. And this goes also for Sundays. We all know that a lot of Kenyans are Christians. So most drivers are believers. And by the nature of them being believers, they will go to church on Sunday morning. That's why you'll find that during the early mornings of Sunday, there is always a surge. So you'll find that the request that comes to drivers are more than the offers in terms of cars that are online at that particular time. Why? Because between 7 a.m. in the morning to noon, a lot of drivers are in church. And during that time, there are so many people who want to go to church. So if you choose, I don't know how you can attend to your church, but if you can choose to drive between 7 a.m. in the morning on Saturday until around 11 a.m., then you can make quite a good amount of money, because during that time, most drivers are in church, most drivers are offline, and the few drivers who are online at that time are serving a huge number of church-going community who want to use the taxi while going to church at that particular time. But you find that after 11 all the way to 2 p.m. or 1 or 3 p.m. when people are coming out of church, it is also at that same time that the same number of drivers are coming out of church. So between 1 and 3 on Sundays, normally there are no people, there is no much work for drivers to serve passengers, because all drivers all of a sudden they are online and they are serving the same number of people who went to church in the morning. Then you find that from 4 p.m. on Sunday, a lot of drivers decide maybe to go home and relax. That's why you find that from 4 p.m. on Sunday all the way to 10 p.m. there is quite a lot of work for drivers who stay online, because a lot of drivers decide maybe to go home early on Sunday so that they can stay with their families, so that they can relax a bit and also strategize for the coming week. And it is during those few hours when those drivers decide to go home that now work surges or request and demand for rides increase, because the few drivers who remain online get a lot of requests from people who are going home late on Sundays. So those are some of the tricks that I always tell drivers to be on the lookout, to always try and understand what is happening, where opportunities lie, so that at any given point, if they choose to be online, then they are maximizing the time that they are online, and then they don't have a lot of time to waste when it comes to waiting time. So you can decide what amount of time you want to sacrifice, and then make sure that you are in agreement with your family. Make sure that your loved ones understand that you are sacrificing for them. During that time, maybe you should be with them. You decide to be away so that you can make something extra without too much effort. And then when every other person now goes on the road on Monday, very early in the morning or very late in the evening, it is that time when you choose now to be home with them, when every other driver is unstrategically on the road. So I hope that one helps you guys, and wishing you all the best.